The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yes, and we're live. Hello, Danica Patrick.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to be here.
You're an intense lady. You got a lot of intensity. When I met you, like right away, I'm like, whoa, gotta take this one in.
Well, it's the handshake, and then it's the, when someone actually looks you in the eye.
Well, you have to be intense. I mean, what you do for a living is probably one of the craziest things a human being can do.
Do you think so?
It's up there. For a job, how fast do you go?
200
Yeah,
plus. I mean, NASCAR's top speed is probably 215. Indy cars, maybe more like 240.
Yeah,
and I'm going to do the Daytona 500 next month and then the Indy 500 in May. So those are going to be my last two races. So
the last ones ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's this is my Danica double goodbye tour.
Why are you doing that? How come you're doing a Danica double goodbye? Is it enough is enough?
I'm ready. I mean, I love racing, but I love other things too. So, I'm okay with transitioning out. And there was a lot of things that were kind of just pointing me in this direction.
Yeah.
In 2017, stuff that has never happened to me before. To kind of, head towards the exit a little bit. But I'm good with it. I'm a very decisive person. So this is probably one of them that I thought about a little bit as far as like how to be done or if to be done, I guess. But the how was the hardest part. My agent kept calling and saying, what about this? And what if you did that? And I'm like, no. You all need to get ready for me to be done, please.
Wow.
And so then he came up with he's like, what if you finish up at Daytona for the 500? And I was like, what about the Indy 500? And he goes, and I was really only referring to the Indy 500. And he was like, well, I'd love you to do both. And I was like, oh, well, that's a good idea. So there's this thing in racing called the double, which is doing the Indy 500 on Memorial Day weekend on Sunday and then flying straight to Charlotte to do the Coke 600 afterwards. And that's kind of known as the double. But this is what we're calling the Danica double, and it has to do with just having spent, a chunk of my career in IndyCar and a chunk of my career in NASCAR, and it just kind of feels like the right way to go out. I don't know. It wasn't clear. It was a bit of a murky end as far as like what's going to happen. Am I going to race next year full time or not? And it just kind of went too long for me to have like a proper I'm done sort of moment in my head. So this was just a great way to do it.
So when you say that things happened in 2017 that didn't happen before, like what do you mean?
Like I had a sponsor leave me. My primary sponsor left at the beginning of the year. I mean, I signed a contract when Mercury was in retrograde, so, I screwed myself there. But
You believe that stuff?
I don't know. It was true, so I guess. Maybe the universe is a little bit more straightforward than we think it is.
I think a lot of good things probably happened during that time.
In 2017 or during retrograde?
Mercury in retrograde. Yeah. I don't believe in any of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think people look for some sort of like hidden meaning to things when it comes to like astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do try and understand it. I'm trying to understand how it really matters, but I don't know. There's definitely some things, at least with the moon, that goes on. I mean, the water changes with the moon. So doesn't that mean that other things should too, whether it be energetically or something like that?
I think the water and the moon thing kind of makes sense a little bit. A little bit. But I think it's probably just like barely one way or the other.
Maybe it's a whisper on the wind kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's more in your head.
So stop putting my crystals outside to charge under the full moon. Maybe not so important.
I would say it's not that important. There was something someone sent me about the Army using crystals, and I was like, this has got to be like an Onion article, that the Army was using crystals for like medics. See, think if you could find that.
Wait a second.
Find it? Yeah, this
for crystals
for wounded people. Yeah, look at this stupid shit. I'm not sure if it's real. U.S. Army's new holistic medics treating gunshot wounds with crystals and essential oils is satire. Thank you. Thank you. I knew
essential oils, don't you think there's a plant that cures everything out there?
There probably is something like that in the Amazon. That maybe not cures everything, but there's probably a lot of stuff that we don't know about.
That's where essential oils come from, right?
Yeah.
So pair that up with some high vibrational stones.
High vibrational stones. Ooh.
I don't know.
Intense. So
so back to my sponsor leaving me.
So your sponsor leaving you were like, that's it?
It's just never happened to me before. I've always been someone that's been really well funded and always had a sponsor always had a sponsor and never a
Right.
problem. And so, it was just things like that were happening. I got into a few big wrecks in a row, like probably 3 and 6 weeks that were,
Ooh.
like I was bawling in the medical center after the third one going, I was running like top 10 and a car blew a rotor and clipped me and put me in the wall. I was on fire. Another driver broke his back. It was a huge accident. And I'm like, what is the message? What is someone trying to tell me right now? And so, after I collected my shit and got my face looking like halfway decent to go talk to the media out there, I finally got out. But yeah, just stuff like that was happening. And I was in a very go with the flow mood in 2017. I wasn't pushing for anything because I wasn't really sure what I wanted. So I just let the universe take care of it.
You've got a very interesting way of looking at things. When things go wrong, you're like, what is the universe trying to tell me? You're not like, well, I drive really fucking fast for a living, and sometimes shit goes wrong.
That happens too.
I mean, it seems like car racing is just inherently crazy. It's what I was saying when I was saying you do one of the craziest things you can for a living. Going 240 miles an hour is no joke.
Yeah.
And metal and rubber and things just
you
have
gotta trust in something when you're out there because you're doing, like you said, 200 plus miles an hour with people that aren't your friends around you with walls around you as well. So you kind of gotta put your trust in something else.